Introduction: The Curse of the Strong. There is a specific type of loneliness that only the strong ones know. You are the person everyone calls when their world is falling apart. You are the therapist of your friend group, the mediator in your family, the rock that never breaks. To the outside world, you look like a saint. You are kind, generous, and endlessly patient. But inside, you are exhausted. You feel a phantom weight on your shoulders, a heaviness that sleep cannot cure. You attract broken people like a magnet, partners with addiction, friends with endless drama, family members who refuse to grow up, and you tell yourself, I just want to help them. I just want them to be happy. But today, we are going to explore a darker truth. This is not just kindness, and it is not just bad luck. This is a psychological programming deep within your brain known as the lighthouse effect. You stand in the middle of the storm, burning your own fuel to guide others to safety. But have you ever asked yourself, who is guiding you? Why is your love always a rescue mission? To understand this, we have to go back to the very beginning. Before you were the savior, you were just a child who needed to survive. Chapter 1: The Origin, the Parentified Child. Psychologists have a term for this: parentification. In a healthy childhood, the parent takes care of the child's emotions. The child is allowed to be messy, scared, and needy. But in your home, the roles were reversed. Maybe one of your parents was emotionally unstable, depressed, addicted, or just absent. Maybe they were a narcissist who demanded constant praise, so you learned a brutal lesson very early. My needs are dangerous. You learned that to be loved, you had to be useful. You became the peacemaker. You learned to read the weather in the house. You knew by the sound of footsteps if your father was angry. You knew by the silence if your mother was sad. You developed a superpower: hyper-empathy. You learned to scan other people's emotions instantly to protect yourself. But this superpower came with a terrible cost. You disconnected from your own self. You learned that love is not a gift you receive for existing. Love is a wage you earn for fixing things. And now, 20 years later, you are still working that job. You are still trying to fix people, hoping that if you finally fix them, maybe then it will be your turn to be taken care of. Chapter 2: The Chemistry of Chaos. This leads us to the paradox of your relationships. Why do you keep choosing broken people? You might say, I don't choose them, they find me. But let's be honest. When you meet someone who is stable, healthy, and consistent, how do you feel? Be honest. You feel bored. To your nervous system, peace feels like indifference. If there is no crisis to solve, you feel useless. You don't know how to exist in a relationship where you aren't needed. You're addicted to the potential. You meet someone and you don't see who they are. You see who they could be if they just listened to you. You see the diamond in the rough. This triggers a massive dopamine spike in your brain. It is a gambling addiction. You think, if I love them hard enough, I can heal them. And every time they have a small moment of improvement, you get a reward. But when they crash again, you feel responsible. You confuse anxiety with chemistry. You think the butterflies in your stomach are love, but actually it is your trauma recognizing a familiar predator. Chapter 3: The Shadow, the Ego of Helping. We need to go deeper. This is the part that most people reject. We like to think of the savior as purely selfless, but there is a hidden ego in being the lighthouse. As long as you are the one saving people, you are the one in control. Being the stable one gives you power. It makes you feel superior. If you are busy focusing on their messy life, you don't have to look at your own emptiness. Focusing on their addiction, their debt, their trauma is a convenient distraction from your own pain. It is a defense mechanism. Intimacy requires two equals, but you don't want an equal. You want a project, because if you met an equal, someone who didn't need you, you would have to be vulnerable. You would have to show your own cracks, and that terrifies you. So you choose people who are below you in functioning so you can stay safely on your pedestal of the helper. This is not love. This is a trauma bond disguised as charity. Chapter 4. The Narcissist Trap. There is a specific type of predator that hunts for lighthouses. The narcissist. The narcissist and the empath are the perfect toxic puzzle pieces. The narcissist feels endless shame and needs endless validation, supply. The empath feels endless guilt and has an endless need to give, service. They are the taker. You are the giver. It feels like a fairy tale in the beginning. They love bomb you. They tell you that you are the only one who understands them. And your ego loves it. You think, finally, someone sees my worth. But soon, the dynamic shifts. They create chaos, and you clean it up. They break things, and you glue them. They feed on your light until you are dim, flickering and cold. And when you have nothing left to give, they don't say thank you. They leave. They leave to find a fresh battery. And you are left wondering, after everything I did, why wasn't I enough? Because you cannot fill a cup that has a hole in the bottom. Chapter 5. Compassion. Fatigue. If you stay in this role too long, you will hit a wall called compassion fatigue. It starts with physical exhaustion. Then comes the resentment. You start thinking, I do everything for everyone and nobody does anything for me. This is called a covert contract. You signed a secret contract in your head. I will save you, and in return, you will love me. But the other person never signed that contract. They just wanted a free ride. Your resentment is your body's way of telling you that you are bankrupt. You are emotionally overdrawn. A lighthouse that burns 24/7 eventually burns out the bulb. And a lighthouse without light is just a tall, dark tower that people crash into. Conclusion. Turning off the light. So how do you break the cycle? How do you stop being the lighthouse? First, you must kill the hope. I know that sounds harsh, but you must kill the hope that your love can change people. People only change when they decide to change, not when you want them to. You must learn the art of detachment with love. This means, I love you, but I will not fix this for you. I love you, but I will not lend you money again. When you stop fixing people, two things will happen. The parasites will leave because they can no longer feed on you. The healthy people will stay because they like you, not your utility. You are trained to believe that your value lies in your sacrifice. That is a lie. It is time to take that bright, powerful beam of light that you have been shining on everyone else and turn it 180 degrees. Turn it inward. Heal your own inner child. Build a life that is so full and beautiful that you don't need to save anyone to feel alive. Let the ship sail their own course, even if they crash. That is their journey, not yours. Your only job is to keep your own flame burning. Welcome to the loop. Subscribe.